Oh, here we go. Good evening and welcome to the fastest half hour in the cryptid world. This Week in Bigfoot, the news show that scours the internet and the Bigfoot community each and every week to bring you the people, places, and stories making headlines around the Bigfoot world. Then we take it and wrap it up in a nice, neat 30-minute package. If it has to do with Sasquatch, Bigfoot, or the Wildman, trust me, we've got you covered. Here's what we're looking at for this week's show. Will artificial intelligence prove to be the Rosetta Stone to the rest of the animal kingdom and help solve the Bigfoot question? We'll discuss why this isn't that far-fetched. Mike Luci has a pair of primate studies for us to take a look at. Snowwalker plays God with mammoths in a brand new 2 minutes with, and strange disappearances in Bigfoot and the Alaskan Triangle. These stories and the most Bigfoot news you can get without a prescription, so you better settle in, buckle up, and hit that subscribe button, because we're going to get at it. You ready? Let's go.
911, what are you reporting?
He's walking upright like a man.
With someone or something crawling around out here.
But he went back up the mountain.
Get somebody out there.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know. He's all black and big. He is big.
For centuries, humans have marveled at the mysteries lurking within the deep forests of North America, and the elusive creature known as Bigfoot has captured our collective imagination. Countless stories and sightings that have left us with more questions than answers. However, a fascinating link between crows, Bigfoot, and the power of artificial technology may soon offer us a unique opportunity to dive deeper into these mysterious worlds. In the South Pacific, an astonishing discovery is unfolded. It turns out that crows, those dark and intelligent birds we often see, have been hiding a secret in their distinctive dialects. Kristen Rutz, a researcher from the University of St. Andrews in Scotland, recently traced their unique vocalizations to passing down of tool-making skills through generations. This discovery has sparked a tantalizing idea. What if we could communicate directly with crows and unlock the wealth of knowledge hidden within their avian minds? Enter artificial technology. Beyond creating chatbots and producing award-winning art, machine learning may soon make it possible for deciphering things like crow calls. A team of artificial intelligence scientists, biologists, and conservation experts are collecting a wide range of data from a variety of species and building machine learning models to analyze them. Other groups, such as the Project Cetacean Translation Initiative, are focusing on trying to understand particular species, in this case, sperm whales. Imagine a world where we can use advanced algorithms, speech recognition, and specialized devices to understand the nuanced languages of crows or whales. This technology, combined with our human ingenuity, could open the door to a treasure trove of knowledge about the environment, survival techniques, or perhaps their interactions with other creatures. This is where Bigfoot makes his grand entrance into the segment. While the existence of Bigfoot remains shrouded in mystery, one intriguing aspect of this legend are the reports of the presence of crows in areas where Bigfoot sightings have said to occur. Could these crows be more than just witnesses to these elusive creatures? Some researchers believe that crows and Bigfoot may have an unspoken alliance, working together for mutual benefit. With the ability to communicate with crows, we might finally unlock the secrets to their connection with Bigfoot. Do they serve as early warning systems, alerting each other to the potential threats in the forest? Could they collaborate for hunting or in some other way that we don't even understand? What else could they tell us regarding the massive cryptid? As we stand on the threshold of a new era of communication with the animal kingdom, the mysteries of the North American forest and Bigfoot inch closer to resolution. Now, while the prospect of direct communication to crows is still in its infancy, it does offer a glimmer of hope to those who seek answers in the wilderness. Now, as good as language models are at finding patterns, they aren't actually deciphering meaning, and they're definitely not always right. Even artificial experts don't always understand how algorithms arrive at their conclusions, making them harder to validate. Imagine a world where humans and animals collaborate to understand and protect the delicate ecosystems that surround us. The potential benefits are staggering, from preserving endangered species to gaining insights into the hidden worlds of nature, like Bigfoot. Now, the prospect of this achievement is not without its ethical concerns. Commercial industries could use AI for pinpoint fishing, listening for schools of target species, or the predators. Poachers could also deploy these techniques to locate endangered animals and impersonate their calls to lure them closer. In this exciting journey of discovery, we may finally peel back the layers of mystery that shroud Bigfoot and the rest of the animal kingdom. With artificial intelligence as our guide, we may one day soon have the opportunity to communicate with the natural world in ways we never thought possible. And while we must tread lightly and with extreme caution in this case, we may soon be able to unlock the secrets of the deep forests and the elusive creature known as Bigfoot. Now, for more on this exciting story, I suggest you read the entire Scientific American article. As always, the link to that is in the description.
Could the rise in frequency and severity of natural disasters be accelerating the aging in some of North America's potential Sasquatch populations? I found an article on a site called coastalreview.org which shed some light on this matter. The article covered a study from 2022 that examined the potential correlation between aging and natural disasters in primates. Published last year in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, the research paper studied how a population of rhesus macaque monkeys aged after their island was hit by Hurricane Maria in 2017.
This part of Puerto Rico was destroyed when Hurricane Maria landed with 250-kilometer-an-hour winds and a devastating storm surge.
Since weather-related disasters are reportedly increasing in frequency and severity, the article points out how aftermaths of these events can take a physical and emotional toll on people's health. These mental and physical effects can exacerbate pre-existing illnesses or even cause new ones, increasing mortality and physical characteristics of advanced age. Scientists tested this theory by examining blood samples of individual free-ranging rhesus macaque monkeys that were from a group relocated to an island off the southern coast of Puerto Rico in the 1930s. The researchers compared blood samples from monkeys that were exposed to Hurricane Maria in 2017 with samples of monkeys who were unaffected by the storm. The study revealed that monkeys exposed to Hurricane Maria had a gene expression profile which was on average 2 years older than the unaffected group. Equivalently speaking, that's about 7 to 8 years in human life. Some of North America's biggest reported Sasquatch hotspots also have well-documented histories of natural disasters. The Pacific Northwest, for example, has seen major volcanic eruptions like Mount St. Helens in 1980 and is no stranger to earthquakes or wildfires, while the Deep South routinely faces hurricanes, floods, and tornadoes. Especially considering how Squatch populations are allegedly very small, increased natural disasters in a given area where they reside could be taking unprecedented physical tolls on these creatures, expediting the aging process as they cope with hardships like loss and displacement of habitat and food sources. Since these creatures are supposedly elusive in nature and actively avoidant of any direct human interaction, it's impossible to examine this specific topic much deeper. So who knows how any aging-related effects brought forth by these disasters could potentially impact factors like a Squatch's breeding or reproductive capabilities, especially among much older or regionally isolated populations. But with reported sightings and encounters on the rise, even if increasing natural disasters are accelerating the aging process among susceptible populations, perhaps it's not having the profound detrimental effect on them as some of us might have feared.
In science, there is a theory that there are a number of vortices located in 12 regions spanning several hundred miles scattered around the globe, supercharged with electromagnetic energy resulting in all kinds of strange happenings. The Alaskan Triangle is a region in Alaska similar to the Bermuda Triangle. It's an area where a lot of people have disappeared. In fact, some researchers have put the number at more than 20,000 people have vanished over the last 50 years, all without a trace. In 1950, a Douglas C-54D military plane with 44 personnel on board vanished on the Alaska-Yukon border without a trace. And despite massive search by Canadian and US officials, to this day, no trace of that airplane has ever been found. In addition to the airplane disappearances, you have UFO sightings, strange creature reports, and all types of anomalous phenomena. Whether some unknown physical phenomena is responsible for the disappearances and the lights in Alaska's nighttime sky remains a mystery. UFO expert Debbie Ziegelmeyer believes that Alaska is attractive to alien visitors because it's so sparsely populated. They can pretty much go where they want, when they want, said Ziegelmeyer, who was a star team investigator for the UFO research organization, MUFON. There are also claims that someone or something is attracted to the cutting-edge military technology based in Alaska. Some believe that U.S. military officials might already know about the UFO presence on their test ranges. Hypnotherapist and paranormal researcher Johnny Enoch claims that there's clearly something strange going on in the Alaskan Triangle, and speculates that senior officials within the U.S. military are secretly in contact with whoever or whatever are flying these mystery craft. While aliens have been blamed for the high number of missing persons reports in the Alaskan Triangle, others think there could be a quite different explanation. Researcher and Finding Bigfoot star Cliff Barackman believes that anything of size could be hiding in the Alaskan wilderness.
Is it possible that some of these missing people go missing because of another monster, the Sasquatch? I think it's entirely possible because Sasquatches are not your forest friend. They are animals trying to survive.
Attacks of the bipedal monster have been offered as another reason why so many people go missing in Alaska. We recently showcased a Small Town Monsters film looking to explain that disturbing theory. Now, if you play the Occam's Razor card, the rough terrain and unpredictable weather, coupled with the sheer size of the Alaska wilderness, is probably the simplest explanation. But with so many people going missing, never to be seen again, it's undeniable that there is a mystery to be solved in the Alaskan Triangle.
New findings by researchers at the University of Bristol are challenging the long-held belief that red skin or fur coloration among primates is linked to better color vision. The findings, which are published in the Biological Journal of the Linnean Society, indicate that red skin or fur coloration could instead be largely used for social communication among primates, including species that don't have particularly good color vision. This contradicts earlier research on the topic, which reportedly established a link between color vision and vibrant coloration in primates. While mammals mainly have fur coloration in shades of black, brown, or gray, primates like apes, monkeys, and lemurs are an exception, who can exhibit shades of red and red-orange in their skin and fur. Many of these primate species have this kind of skin coloration on their body's face or anogenital regions, usually red or bright red, which is capable of changing intensity to signal things like fertility or rank in the dominance hierarchy. It was believed for the longest time that better color vision prompted these traits to stand out more and thus facilitated their evolution. The researchers aim to investigate whether the evolution of enhanced color vision in certain primates also facilitated the evolution of these red color traits. Scientists use photographs to categorize each primate species based on the presence or absence of specific colorful traits. They compared this color information with each species' color visual abilities while taking other details into consideration like diurnal or nocturnal behavior and social group size. The study wound up finding no evidence that species with better color vision are more likely to have red coloration. While this challenges those long-held assumptions about the origins and purposes of primate coloration, scientists believe more research is needed to fully understand the pressures that shape this evolutionary element of primates. This study brought up a few details that can potentially impact our understanding of Bigfoot. Consider how most Squatches are described as having black, brown, or gray fur, with select few reports describing them as having reddish-brown fur. These details are consistent with the fact that mammals mostly appear in those main aforementioned colors. If there's one major takeaway the study offers, it shows yet another example of how the scientific narrative is constantly changing. We see yet again how new findings and something science has told us to believe for years and years might not be what we all thought was the case. This is something that's come about in previous segments we've done, like the human origin story I covered in episode 27, so who knows? Perhaps this could be a sign that we're one step closer to getting the viable evidence or aha moment we need that finally forces mainstream science to reconsider or outright rebuke their long-held stance on Bigfoot and give this phenomenon the attention we all think it deserves.
Well, if you checked your watches and the clock on the wall, folks, it's that time. We're halfway through episode 30, which can only mean one thing. It's the part of the show where we give content creator Michael Merchant, you might know him as Snowwalker Prime, Screen time to speak his mind and get what's ever bothering him off his chest. Now, each and every week it's getting harder and harder to pry him away from his beloved chickens. But here he is again. This is 2 Minutes With.
Echo Station 3PA. Spotted an aerial walker. Aerial walker. Echo Station 3PA. We have spotted an aerial walker. Aerial walker.
Bigfoot told me to stop acting like a flamingo, so I put my foot down. Very exciting. Mammoths are coming back in 2024.
Is this like one of your crazy Bigfoot friends' football team?
No, there's a company, Colossus, that's gonna clone a mammoth.
How do they
They've
plan?
dug up ancient remains out of the permafrost and got mammoth DNA they're gonna splice with CRISPR technology into Asian Indian elephants. 22 months later, that elephant will give birth to a mammoth.
Well, if true, that is kind of cool.
And they're not doing it for fun either.
No, I imagine they could get big money at a zoo.
They're doing it to save the planet.
Gonna fix climate change. How in the hell are mammoths gonna fix climate change?
Where do you find a Bigfoot with 2 broken legs? Right where you left him. So they've been doing these experiments in Siberia in this Pleistocene park. And they found out if they pushed down trees with bulldozers and then let musk oxen and reindeer run in there, the temperature dropped 8 degrees.
This sounds like one of your Bigfoot theories.
No, the science is all there. Not only are they sequencing and cloning mammoths, they're gonna bring back the Tasmanian wolf and the dodo bird.
I am not following you.
So the theory is that the mammoths ate all the trees, pushed the trees down, and then they trampled the snow down, which reflected the sunlight and lowered the Earth's temperature by 8 degrees.
If you checked your facts, this sounds kind of fanciful.
No, the science is all there.
So how many mammoths is it going to take to fix the climate?
They're going to release 100 into the park.
This sounds an awful lot like Jurassic Park, the movie.
No, it's completely different. In this one, they're digging up ancient remains of extinct animals, and they're going to manipulate the DNA with CRISPR technology and bring back to life an extinct animal, and then release it into the tundra to run amok.
That is literally what they did in Jurassic Park.
There's like 5 movies. Have you seen them? Yeah, but this is completely different.
It's exactly the same.
No, they're cloning mammoths. They're making mammoths. Bigfoot walked into a bar. I said, what the hell are you doing here?
I don't think that mammoths caused climate change.
This sounds like a shell game. The science is all there. You've heard of Dolly. They're just gonna clone these things, release them to run amok across the tundra. Problem solved. Climate change solved. Everything will go 8 degrees colder.
Bigfoot walked into a bar. Everybody said, hey, look, it's Bigfoot.
I mean, when it's going to lower the temperature by 8 degrees, we'll actually have to burn more fossil fuels just so it won't get too cold.
I don't think this is how this works.
Yeah, I told you, they pushed over trees with bulldozers and they let reindeer come in there and the temperature dropped 8 degrees.
They have bulldozers. What do they need the mammoths for?
Because we made them go extinct.
I trained a wolf to meditate. Now he's a werewolf.
In all 5 of the Jurassic Park movies, bad things happen. Every single time. I told you, this is completely different.
But it's not different. It's literally the exact storyline that the movie follows.
The only difference is they're not cloning dinosaurs, they're cloning mammoths. Oh, and saber-toothed tigers. They're going to have the saber-toothed tigers to prey upon
the woolly mammoths and woolly rhinos and dire wolves and short-faced cave bears.
What? You didn't... What are they cloning? All the extinct megafauna? It's to save the planet. We're going to save the planet.
You know, it's almost like you're not rooting for humanity.
It's almost like you're on their side, on the other side.
We're gonna make a fortune in this place.
Time to take care of a couple of housekeeping items here on This Week in Bigfoot. Just a reminder, Doug Highcheck is looking for 2 good Class A compelling Bigfoot witnesses as volunteers, willing to be regressed using hypnotism by a trained PhD in psychology, and be filmed for the Legend Meets Science 2 project.
Yes, I've been interviewing now each day. I have another interview again today, and I believe I found 2 really good witnesses that were caught completely off guard. We're not, into the Bigfoot topic, so they'll make really good regression witnesses to be regressed and through relaxation and so on. To see if we can get some details.
Anybody interested in doing this should reach out to Doug directly at doug@untoldradioam.com. Your identity will be concealed. Now, we did receive some news on Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum's condition, as he did get released from the Harbor View Medical Center in Seattle.
Just got off the phone with Dr. Jeff Meldrum, and Jeff wanted to announce, that he is home. He is recovering from a long medical ordeal, and he hopes to be basically back in the saddle by January.
Now, are you at liberty to say what happened?
Well, it's, no. I don't really want to get into that. It's a complex story, but he's at home, he's recovering, and I'm sure Jeff will be happy to tell the whole story, what happened to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite a deal. I mean, certainly timing couldn't be worse to have a medical issue, be on a cruise ship up in Alaska.
Yeah, well, I mean, anytime you have a medical emergency, right, and obviously it was very urgent, the last place you want to be is on a cruise ship in the middle of Alaska.
Yeah. It would be the last place I'd want to be.
Yeah. So that's great to hear, and I'm sure everybody will be breathing a deep sigh of relief. I know, everybody was kind of waiting to hear what was going on, and so it's great to hear that he's at home, he's comfortable, and he's getting better.
Yep. And he was obviously felt good enough to take my call and talk. So I was excited to hear his voice.
And while details are few and far between on what exactly caused Dr. Meldrum to be taken off the Alaskan Bigfoot cruise and flown to Seattle for urgent care, at least at the time of this viewing, we would like to continue to wish the good doctor a speedy recovery and look forward to him being back in the Bigfoot community soon. One last note, I spoke to Stephen Stroyford last week, owner of the Bigfoot books in Willow Creek that lost everything to that tragic fire on Labor Day weekend. Now, thanks to our viewers and other people that donated to his GoFundMe page, we blew right past the targeted goal of $10,000, so I'd like to thank you for that. Once again, This Week in Bigfoot viewers stepped up and answered the call to help someone in need in the Bigfoot community. For that, we thank you.
Hey, this is Chuck Larson. You're watching the CARC channel on YouTube.
Hoping to get a pulse on the extent of cryptozoological beliefs in this community, I created a poll in the Bigfoot subreddit asking which cryptid they believed was most likely to be real besides Bigfoot. The poll offered 6 choices: lake and or ocean monsters, dogman, thunderbirds, winged humanoids, along with skinwalkers and wendigos, which I kind of just bunched together. And I also did the same for the other / none of the above option. A plurality of the 880 people who voted said that lake monsters and or ocean monsters had the best odds of existing, which garnered 321, or more than 36% of all votes, and was the most popular choice by a wide margin. Surprisingly, the other / none of the above option came in at number 2, with 190, or more than 21% of votes, while 3rd and 4th place respectively went to skinwalkers / wendigos and dogman. Most of the above options were well represented in the comments. There were quite a few Redditors who took issue with seeing wendigos and skinwalkers grouped together. Lots of people had some interesting theories on what these purported lake and ocean monsters could be. I'm sure some of you may even recognize this guy if you're ever in the chat during our show's live premieres. You even had a few people bring up some possibilities for those other cryptids, like what they could be, like chupacabras, extinct giant ground sloths, even the Loveland frogs got a mention. So yeah, above all, I thought this was a great way to get some insight on what other cryptids members of the Bigfoot community think could be lurking out there with our towering bipedal friends. Our findings seem to show that the beliefs in other cryptids are a lot more diverse than expected, but some of the top picks voters chose weren't without having any reasoning behind them, which I think is a testament to the level of pragmatic thinking a good number of members in this community apply to this subject matter.
All right, time to bring you up to speed on a couple of recent Bigfoot podcasts and live streams. First in the box, Sailor Sasquatch. In the channel's latest upload, we hear from a 911 call dispatcher and a resident in Washington State as they recall their recent Bigfoot sightings. Check it out.
The 911 dispatcher was driving home around 3:30 p.m. She was between the towns of Malone and Porter, Washington. Off to her left, about 15 feet up, she noticed a dark creature. Though she was going about 55 miles an hour and she says the encounter only lasted about 3 seconds, she felt like it was in slow motion. She details the creature as about 6 feet tall, not very broad, but thin and very lean. It had patchy bald spots on its body, lighter skin, and she reported the face to look very, very human. We're going to take you to that spot right now. So up on this ledge right here is where the creature was standing. When she looked at the creature, she felt like it noticed her and she saw it make a 180-degree turn and walk into the woods. It's important to note that right across the street is the Chehalis River, which is full of coho salmon that time of year.
Next up in the newest edition to the Untold Radio Network, and that's Dr. John Baranchuk, Grasping Sasquatch, Episode 1, Fight or Flight. In the series premiere, Dr. Baranchuk walks us through the concept of fight or flight and outlines coping skills for dealing with anxiety and fear, aimed at Bigfoot witnesses looking to move on with their lives after their traumatic encounter. Check it out.
If you talk with enough people who have had these encounters, they have a variety of fight-flight responses, and sometimes losing control of their bladder and bowel is part of that experience. It's nothing to be ashamed of. That's nothing you can consciously control unless you train how to control that. And learning to modulate or control that will be part 2 of this episode and this show. Next week, we'll talk about some techniques that you can learn for yourself to be able to reprogram your fight-flight response. But for most folks, that's not under voluntary control. The anxiety and the fear hits you, and you either fight or you flee, or you might poop and pee in your pants.
Now, batting cleanup this week, it's none other than Man of Light, Bigfoot Family Talks. In the latest upload, the host claims to have a family of friendly Bigfoot in his research area that he recently caught on digital recorder talking. Now, listen closely, because this should be good. Play the tape.
You know what they are. They're very highly intelligent beings. They're not animals like people say they are, think they are. They're highly intelligent. I've seen them. I've had run-ins with them in a good way. They've given me gifts and everything, and I can ask them anything to find out anything, and they know. So with that being said, I'm going to let you listen to this recording, what they said to me, okay? And hope you can hear it good, okay? Here it goes. Did you hear what they said? Listen to it again. They called my name over here. They said, Greg Geraci, you are a good friend. You are a good man, friend. Okay, listen to it one more time. Okay.
With the weather cooling down and the days getting shorter, Bigfoot conferences and festivals continue to draw in record crowds from coast to coast. That being said, there's still only one guy we can all turn to keep us up to speed on the who's, the what's, and the where's, and that's Chuck Larson with another great festival, this one in Pennsylvania, in this week's Spotlight. Twitch Day, October 14th, Columbia, Pennsylvania. Conference Spotlight.
This week's Conference Spotlight is Twitch Day. It's that time of year when the Susquehanna Valley celebrates their fuzzy little felon. The festival takes place Saturday, October 14th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. in Columbia, Pennsylvania. There will be authors, Tim Renner and David Spinks, to name a couple. There will be live music. Heroes for Ransom and Dillweed headline the bands. That's right, Dillweed. I had to say that twice. And there will be speakers. Highlighting the speakers are Matt Lake and Sean Forker, the Fork Chop. This is the 10th anniversary for this event, and they are saying it will be the biggest one yet. Food, vendors, and festivities. Who can ask for anything else? For more information, you can go to albatwitchday.com or the festival Facebook page. And that's this week's Conference Spotlight. Brendon, take us out.
All right, folks, it pains me once again to tell you we're all out of time for this week's episode. But before we go, I want to personally thank each and every one of you for watching This Week in Bigfoot and making it the success it's slowly starting to become throughout the Bigfoot community. And I have some rather exciting news to share with you before I sign off. And that's This Week in Bigfoot has a brand new show sponsor, and that's Larson Scour from Whitefish, Montana. Now, in order to celebrate having Zach, Ryan, and the rest of Larix as part of the This Week in Bigfoot family, we will be moving the show to a new night, and that's Sundays at a new time, 7:15 Eastern. So, in order to get things all set and ready for our new sponsors and reboot the show and make it look all sexy for you guys heading into the fall, we will be taking the next 2 weeks off. We will be back here October 22nd, 7:15 Eastern. That's 1 hour earlier. So, go out, enjoy the fall weather, have fun, and I expect to see you all right back here October 22nd at 7:15 Eastern. So, until then, from Mike Luci and Chuck Larson and Snowwalker Prime, I'm Brendon Brown reminding you that when it comes to getting your Bigfoot news, be informed, not biased. We'll see you October 22nd. Take care.